Good afternoon, everybody. It's October 15th. I just got back down here to the South Farm. I needed to come down to help winterize some equipment, organize some grain hauling, do all that sort of stuff. Anyways, while I was here, I'm like, well, we should definitely stop and take a look at this winter wheat. This is seeded into lentil stubble, and it's looking like it's coming awesome. Check this out. Where should we stop here? Yeah, we got rocks. Welcome to the South. We definitely got lots of rocks. Got a whole crop of those bad boys. So, right here. As you can see, we have some volunteer lentils. That's to be expected. Don't worry, these bad boys are going to freeze off in about another couple weeks. We made sure that we seeded our winter wheat in our lentil and chickpea stubble. We made sure that we seeded it extra heavy to account for some death loss. But all in all, it's looking awesome. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it looks awesome. Just looks so strange that we're growing a crop October 15th, and it's a balmy 24 degrees out here, you guys. 24 degrees. Tomorrow's also supposed to be 24 degrees. So we've had it's been exceptionally warm. We've had some rains. I'm told it's perfect winter wheat growing conditions. Now, it's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. But hopefully this stuff gets advanced enough that it'll be fine. Will I roll this down at the South Farm? No, probably not. We don't normally have lodging issues. We've been in a 4-year catastrophic drought here, and to be honest, it's getting kind of old. So let's go back and let's go take a look at some wheat that we seeded into some chickpea stubble. All right, this stuff isn't as advanced. I guess this was the last stuff we seeded. You can see it's basically just like 1 to 2 leaf coming out of here. 1 leaf. This is chickpea stubble. It's like germination was a little patchy down here because there's really nothing coming right here. Either that or we got well, there's a gopher hole right there, I guess. Yeah, we do lose a lot of crop to gophers and grasshoppers. Yeah, this looks way better out here. It's just this headland. It's the first time I've seen it. I didn't seed it. We were up north combining. There we go. That's better. Oh, this is a little more advanced. Be similar, I guess, to the other field. Well, we're about to find out if we're going to be doing any reseeding next year. That one row there to the right looks like it was a little spotty hit and miss. Let's see if we can zoom in here. So, as far as fertilizer, we put everything down because there's no way that I have time to come back to top dress or fertilize in the spring. If we have to roll into this field in the spring, it's going to be because we have to reseed it. It's not going to be because we got to put a little extra fertilizer or something down. That ain't going to happen. And so worst case scenario is we winter kill. Well, worst case is it winter kills the whole field, and that's never going to happen. I shouldn't say never, but that's not going to happen. If it winter kills, it's going to winter kill very spotty. It's going to be at those hilltops. It's a pretty flat field, but it's going to be some little hilltops over there. And that's almost worse because then you're like, oh man, where do I seed? Where do I don't seed? Where do I draw the line? Where do I don't draw the line? But that's worst case scenario, I guess. And then if we do have to come in and reseed anything, it's just going to be with regular spring hard red wheat. and we're just going to drill right into it, and then we'll be mixing the hard red and the winter red wheat, and then we'll just sell them together. Won't be able to be in the hard red spring market, probably in the feed market, but either way, that's what it will be. But at least it's nice and warm. We got some nice warm days here, so let's get this crop. Grow, baby, grow. Grow, baby, grow. Yeah, no. Then obviously we did a good burn off on it. And so in a perfect world, we don't have to reseed anything. And then once it reaches, you know, the right stage, probably that 3-4 leaf in the spring, then we'll come in with our herbicide. But no, I'm pretty dang happy with it. Looks like we had a bug run here. This is our check strip for next year, you guys. All the way. But no, I'm happy. Now, the chickpea crop out here was, well, it wasn't that awesome. It was, I guess everything was pretty disappointing this year in terms of yield, and also disappointing in terms of price. But here's a little bit of a draw. This is our snow catch, this little draw right here. Looks like we didn't cut this draw out very good. Well, I've never grown winter wheat before. This is the first time. And as Dad said, this is the first time in our farm's history of 42 years. I guess I should say first time, because haven't grown winter wheat in 42 years. And we quit growing it because it winter killed. We don't normally get a lot of snow around here. We get really cold with no snow, and it winter kills. Now, genetics have come a long way. We've got a bunch of new varieties. So we're going to take another swing at it here and hope for the best. Now, we did grow some in some wheat, or actually it was durum stubble, like up to like 16-inch of durum stubble. I'm not worried a little bit of that. That'll be just perfectly fine. I'm a little worried with our chickpea and lentil stubble. Well, Mike, why didn't you just seed it all into your cereal stubble? Because by seeding into my cereal stubble, it throws off my rotation. Because I normally would put an oil seed into my cereal stubble, or I'm going to put a chickpea into my cereal stubble, or I'm going to put a lentil into my cereal stubble. I'm not putting a cereal on top of a cereal traditionally, unless I have a weedy field that I have to do something with. I need my cereals to go on an oil seed stubble, a lentil stubble, or a chickpea stubble. That's the whole point of having rotations. So if it won't survive the chickpea and lentil stubble, then there's absolutely zero point of growing winter wheat, because that is the rotation. So yes, we did do some into some durum stubble for trial purposes, just for, you know, some yield comparisons. But really, the meat and potatoes has to be in the pulse stubble or an oil seed stubble. But we didn't grow any oil seeds in 2024. We grew a whack in 2023, but there was no oil seed stubble to seed into. That would have been the best, obviously. Well, let's go see this durum stubble, take a look at it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we are in the durum stubble, and this is actually that grass that we broke. No, we didn't break, we seeded it into. Nearly killed my drill, but we did. I wouldn't do it again, but anyways, we grew a durum crop off here. I seeded it at half rate. The durum I seeded at half rate, and this would have done 0, but we got pretty significant amount of rain during the seeding and spraying season, and it actually yielded half decent. Not as good as the stuff over there, but still yielded half decent. Anyways, this stuff also looks good. It's about the same stage. This was seeded first. This was the very first stuff we put in. This is actually white winter, not nearly as hardy as red winter, which is the reason why we stuck it here. But I love seeing those green rows. Hold on here. Oh! I can't really make out the green, I guess, but... looking good, though. Sorry about the wind. Oh, yeah, here's the tracks. All right, guys. We still got some grasshoppers out here. I see them jumping around. They're gonna freeze solid here pretty dang quick. I do see some cool weather coming. We got this week of nice weather in the 20s. And then we're gonna start dipping down to highs of +5, +7. So that is pretty much gonna halt this winter wheat, I would think. And then winter's gonna be here. But I'm not worried about this winter killing. This will be fine. This will be fine. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Adios. I got a pile of things I gotta get done here. So I'll catch you later.